$50 million of face amount in life insurance every single week. We're still looking for those people. We completed over 730 projects in 100 days. We are putting out 700 plates of food a day. We are putting out 500 gallons of fuel a day for 100 days. Don't be like the leaders as who they are. Be like the leaders and how they grow. I had to watch my first son, Creed, grow up on a camcorder. That's how I saw my son's first steps. That's how I heard his first words. That was everything. Company got harder before it got better, and now it's better, and it's time to start acting like it. It's time to start realizing where we are and who we are. It's so easy to get left behind because what you face on a daily basis as a partner, as somebody who's supporting, is you face all of the obstacles without the vision and the opportunity that's involved in that. And I think that's really damn special and really damn hard. Right now, there are two main master agencies represented. There's probably 4 130s, 5 130s represented in this crew. And just to give you an idea of what that looks like somewhere in the range of, just in this crew, about $50 million of face amount in life insurance every single week that y'all are putting in place and your teams are responsible for. And not a single person who receives $1 of that death benefit will give any back. Not one of them are gonna say it's too much and I wanted less death benefit. Not a single person is gonna say, hey, listen, I know we have this, let me give it all to charity. Not a single person is gonna do that, and that's 14 years of experience watching people receive death benefits, and the only thing that I've seen is relief. Relief of pain and relief of fear. And it's amazing how we talk so openly about what money does to our problems. What does money do to their problems at one of the hardest times in their freaking life? And that's what y'all do who qualified for this trip. Not only do you make sure that that individual family that you met with, maybe 10 a week, right? Maybe 10 a week consistently is the top. We've got Rex Knight here, maybe 20 a week is consistently the top, okay? Right? You're not just responsible for that. You're responsible to for every person who you brought in, who learned that process, and they didn't get hurt by the nose to the point where they couldn't continue. Instead of trying to make it easier, they got tougher because they got inspired by the fact that you were tough. And that's the reason you're here, is because you're tougher than the people who didn't make it, period. You're more focused than the people who didn't make it, period. That's why this isn't filled with thousands of people yet. We're still looking for those people. One of the things that I tried to do for years is make those people. I tried to create those people. And it was the humility of Casey and Brandon and Brian that brought me here. And it was my lack of humility that almost took me out of the business. Multiple times. It was my entitlement attitude. It was my ego. They say ego is the most expensive thing. Well, when you have it under control, it's the most priceless thing as well. It's the most priceless thing as well, because what you get to do is you get to speak from a foundation of truth and work. And that is one of the things, that is a voice in the wilderness in this business. So many people are lying about how much money they make because they want to make it, and they don't have a process or a system that they can follow to make it that allows them to be their unique, authentic, individual self. You have to become just like everybody else in most of those companies. And here, you can become more like yourself than anywhere else, as long as you stay focused and fired up. There's a lot of people who come up and they come to the top leaders in the company, and I remember doing this myself. What do I need to do? What do I need to do here to win? What do I need to do? What do you guys want from me? The company wants your focus. They don't need it forever, they just need it for a period of time. And I'm not just talking a little bit of focus, I'm talking about a lot of focus. A lot of focus, just being able to hold that pressure for the period of time, and you're gonna feel like it's gonna break you. And it's not breaking you, it's breaking the old you. And that's what we need to do, is we need to break that person so the new person can come through. It's kind of like an egg. And we know that soft eggs make weak chickens, right? Soft eggs make weak chickens, and not a single one of you, I guarantee it, are stubborn enough to have a weak egg, okay? Every single one of you have the level of focus, stubbornness, a level of ego, a level of competitiveness that makes getting rid of the old person difficult. But that's what times like this are, to know it's safe, that if I continue to push and I continue to focus, it's all going to be worthwhile, because there's been so long for so many of us where we were trained that that's not a safe thing to do. That's not an okay thing. If you come and you bring all of yourself here, what happens if it doesn't work out? I want this week to help you create an imagination that says, what if it does? What if I can, and what if they will? And being able to grab onto that, because it was times like this with leaders like these that make all the difference in the world. And you don't even notice how your level is going to raise. I know my level is going to raise before I come here, because there's been so many times where just short conversations with somebody like Sarah, times where I just send. The other day I sent Jacob a thank you. He hits me back with something. I was like, damn, I just learned a lot. Right? Just by his attitude and how he carries himself. That's powerful. The fact that Casey and Brandon they weren't asking anybody in the beginning of the company to do what they were doing. Not a single person. I remember I was with the company several weeks, and they said, we've got leads an hour and a half away. And I was like, only an hour and a half away? I didn't say that to them, but I went and took those leads. They put me on a call 2 weeks later called Traveling and Selling. And that was in June. That was about 4 weeks after I started, because I drove an hour and a half. Okay? I want to tell you that the company got harder before it got better, and now it's better, and it's time to start acting like it. It's time to start realizing where we are and who we are. Because the sooner that we can grab a hold onto that collectively and individually, the sooner we get to start living a life where we don't have those same regrets. I wish I would have shown up this way. I wish I would have been a little bit more focused. I wish I would have put a little bit more time and attention. And you know what we get to do today? We get to stop wishing and start gifting. We start to get to gift our future self the things that we want now. Because if we don't start giving those gifts to our future self now, are they ever going to have it, right? And we know that sometimes when you're working, you get tired, but that's an old person who gets tired. That's an old person who gets tired. There's new tools that help you rejuvenate, that you can get access to this level, that are available to all of us, and they're right in front of our feet, but they're hard to pick up, because sometimes I thought that I was going to lose who I was in gaining who I wanted to be. And that was my biggest issue, and that was 100% ego. And that ego did not allow me to grow. So this weekend, if we can keep that grateful heart, if we can rest up and restore like y'all deserve to do, right? My coach, Drew McClure, he says, stress plus rest equals growth. And this is our time to rest. This is our time. You can certainly stay focused on 52 different things and teach yourself how to do that more on this trip, or you could be focused on restoring yourself so that you can go back hungry, so that you can go back fired up, so that you can go back with this heart that's so big that you won't let a no touch it. Yet one of the things that I've seen in this business since we've started working in more of an isolated way is people have become a little softer. They've become a little bit softer, and it's time to get rid of that, because we can still have a soft heart but a thick skin, can't we? Can we still have a soft heart but a thick skin? I think that's really important, because that's what allows us to enjoy this business to the degree that we custom craft it for our lifestyle. I did not know I was going to have a 6-month-old when I started building this business at 42. I did not. But damn am I glad that I built this business, because him and I had to watch my first son, Creed, grow up on a camcorder. I would come home every night from work at about 1 or 2 in the morning, and I would press play. That's how I saw my son's first steps. That's how I heard his first words. That was everything, and I watched that. Today, I get to come home, and I get to be in a staring contest with my son to figure out which one of us loves each other more. I win all the time. That kid is terrible at that game, okay? He sucks. He's just a little baby. I beat his ass. It's crazy. He has no chance. I win gold medals all the time at my house, Jacob. Short little legs, short little arms, no competition, right? Do you feel what you feel right now? You don't need this place. You don't need a certain amount of money. You don't need to be around people to access this feeling. You can have it anytime you want. Just remember what it's like and figure out how to get back here, where you feel that fullness, where you feel that gratitude, where you feel that appreciation for a guy like this who went out in the wrong time, in the wrong industry to do the right thing. And he is proof that while so many people spend all their time trying to make the right decision, we don't need to do that. We can be busy making our decisions right. The decision to come here, the decision to commit at a deeper level, the decision to be happy, the decision to have an immense amount of gratitude, and the decision to live a radically generous life. Whether that's the giving that all these guys do. Right now, for the Delaney agency, we've got a team that's going out to Texas right now to help with the floods. All that stuff happens because of what you do. It's amazing what it enables us to do. As a team, we got to invest and raise over $1 million for the North Carolina storm. A lot of people don't know that. Every single one of you who are part of the Delaney agency, and I know you guys do so much for the schools and the kids, but when it comes to North Carolina, and I know you guys did so much with the Beacon Foundation, we were putting out 700 plates of food a day. 700 plates of food a day. Not for a week, not for a few days, but for 100 days. 100 days we were putting out 700 plates of food a day. We were putting out 500 gallons of fuel a day for 100 days. 500 gallons of fuel per day. We fixed more bridges, more roads. We completed as a company, because of our investment, we completed over 730 projects in 100 days. 100 days. That was restoring access to homes. It snowed in the middle of October. We were getting people out of bed who were no longer going to get out of bed anymore. They were going to stay there. They were going to die there. Our team was able to go into those houses and get them out of bed. We had a woman who was end-stage brain cancer. We were able to reconnect her with her parents who were having to cross a river that went up to their waist every single day because they couldn't get a car to go check on their daughter who had end-stage brain cancer. They were 80 years old and she was having seizures in her house. We sent somebody over there to pray with her, to set up Starlink, to restore communication, and we were able to bring her food every day, and we were able to get her parents over across the river every single day because you decided to write one more policy. Because you decided to protect one more family, because you decided to reach out to that person who you were nervous they were going to say no, and you decided to not invent a no for them, but invent a choice that they didn't have previously. Invent an opportunity through your work, because if it wasn't for Jacob, there are so many people who wouldn't know about this opportunity. If it wasn't for Edward sharing this with me, do you guys realize that out of the 12 partners in Symmetry, 10 of them came Warm Market and the other 2 started building Warm Market right away? Out of the 12 partners with Symmetry, 10 were attracted Warm Market, and the other 2 started building Warm Market right away. Ryan Miller and Edward Pritchett. Edward gave me a call on the day he joined Symmetry. If it wasn't for his willingness to do something he had never done, to feel something he had never felt, and to get over it in order to get to a new level, my life would be completely different today. And so would a lot of yours. Your life would be completely different. I know everybody would find a path here, right? You would find a path here, and it's not about one specific person, but there is somebody who is looking for this opportunity today because they want to sit where you sit, they want to feel what you feel, and they want to be themselves. They don't want to have to be a duplicate of Jacob Pogue, of Brian Delaney, of Jordan Hunt, and you don't have to be. You can duplicate the principles that make this work, and that's why we get to grow unique, authentic people like each one of you. Because if I came into your home while you were running those appointments, you would serve those clients in a different way than the next person, wouldn't you? Right? Anybody who's been here for a minute knows that Devin Johnson tells them checking your savings on the phone and closes the deal before it's even closed, right? Everybody knows, like, try to talk to your clients like Tristan Strickland does. Try. How about you be you? We got him, right? We don't want another Tristan because this world couldn't handle it. It would break it apart, okay? That much energy in one human being isn't right, okay? Right? So what we're saying here is don't be like the leaders as who they are. Be like the leaders in how they grow. Be like the leaders in their relentless pursuit of self-development. Be like the leaders in their resilience. Be like the leaders in their resilient gratitude. Be like the leaders in knowing that how I feel right now does not mean that's how I have to live. I can change the way I feel because I know if I can change the tone of my voice, I can change the tone of my heart, and I can get back to work and I can win, and I can win big with others, because it's only lonely at the top when we go alone. And we're not going alone. We're not going alone. We're going together. We're going together, and we have a huge opportunity here. But I would love for all of us to make some noise in order to express our gratitude to not only what Spivey does, not only what Casey Watkins does, what Angela Walker does, what all the leaders inside of Symmetry do, because they are the invisible who are the indispensable. They are the invisible who are the indispensable, and we're going to come out of here, and we're going to give so much gratitude to the Quility Company that they're not going to know who showed up, because we know that gratitude creates space for other people's success. And that's what we're going to do this weekend, is we're going to create more space in our vision for other people. We're not going to have a vision so small that people have to be outside of it. We're going to have a vision so big that people's whole lives can fit in it. And the only question you're going to be able to ask at the end of your life and answer is, how many worlds were in your world? How many worlds were in your world? Because I can tell you that the more worlds that are in your world in this business, the better your life is, the better their life is, and we get to grow this thing together. And I'm just incredibly thankful. Let's give Jordan Hunt a huge hand for being one of the people who put this on. Come on. I don't know what else we have to do, but before Sarah takes us, here's one thing we're gonna do, is let's get up on our feet, let's get loud, let's get some energy for this lunch and games, let's make some noise.